Hi everybody, welcome back. I am so glad that we are back from spring break and we are ready to learn. It is Monday, April 20th, 2020. I'm going to go through the couple of problems that we did during Zoom class if you weren't able to make it. I expect everyone to be there every day, but I understand that things come up sometimes and I want to make sure that we are all learning anyway. So we're going to go through our 5 questions here. Let's take a look at question 1. Today we're working on predicting outcomes based on probability. It says 40 out of 50 people surveyed in the small town's coffee shop are planning on voting in the next election. If there are 400 people in the town, how many people do you predict will vote in the next election? So, we're going to be selecting one of our answers here. We need to find the probability that someone's going to vote in the next election. So, we know that we had 40 out of 50 voted in this election, or surveyed said they would vote in this election, and we had a total of 400 people in the town. So, this is the total number of people, so we're going to put 400 on bottom there, and we're going to have x on top, and x is going to be the number of people. It's going to say people we predict will vote. And now to solve for x, we're going to find the number of people we predict will vote based on this. So we can simplify 40 over 50 to just be 4 over 5. Make that a little easier for ourselves. We can do x over 400. Now we're going to cross multiply, just like that. And we get 4 times 400 is 1600 equals 5x. Then we have to divide both sides by 5. And we're going to get that x is going to equal 320. So we can say that we predict that 320 people will vote in the next election. Awesome. Make sure you're filling out the Google Classroom survey as well while we're doing this. Question number 2. Mark rolled one die 50 times, and his results are shown below. Mark rolls the pair, and here's the results here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and how many times he rolled each one. Mark rolls the pair of dice 400 times, predict the number of times the dice will land on 6, and this can be based on what we observed here. So find the probability that it lands on a 6. Based on our observation, we had it land 13 times on 6 out of 15 total rolls. That's going to be the probability it lands on 6. We're going to set that equal to, we had 400 rolls of the dice. We'll see how many times it lands on 6. So that's going to be x right there. So once again, we're going to cross multiply just like that. 13 times 400 is going to be 5,200. And set that equal to 50x. Divide both sides by 50 to solve for x. Oops, divide both sides by 50. 5,200 over 50, we're going to have 104 is equal to x. Awesome, 104 is going to be equal to x right there, and that's how we're going to solve that problem. We predict that it will land on 6 104 times. Great, so you're now asked to do each of these independently. So I want everyone to, I'm going to write this on the screen, pause the video. I want everyone to pause the video, and I want you to work on these independently, okay? I'm going to keep moving on, so please pause, answer these on your own, and then check your answers with what I do here. So you're going to pause the video, answer all 3 of these questions. They're also in the Google Classroom. It's probably easier to see there. Then you're going to check your answers based on what I do in the next video. So I hope you've paused the video. Going to resume and move on to the next questions. Let's take a look at question number 3. Oops. Deshawn surveyed 40 random scholars in the school and found that 34 of them have at least one sibling. There are 160 scholars in the school in total. Based on the data Deshawn already collected, predict the total number of scholars in the school who will have at least one sibling. So finding the probability of 1, I'm just going to say 1 sib. That's going to be, we have 34 people that have one sibling, over 40 total people. And that's going to be equal to, we have 160 people at the school. We're going to find what that is. X is going to be the number with one sibling. Number with one sib. Great. So as usual, we're going to cross multiply here like this to solve for x. 34 times 160 is going to be 5,440 equals 40x. Excuse me. Divide both sides by 40. 5,440 divided by 40 is going to be 136. It's going to be x. So, out of the 160 scholars at the school, 136 of them have at least one sibling. Great. Let's take a look at question number 4. 90 contestants completed, excuse me, 90 contestants competed on a game show. The sum of their winnings is shown in the table below. So we had 18 people win $0 to $2,000, 22 people win $1 to $4,000, 17 people win $4,001 to $6,000, 25 people won $6,000 to $8,000, and 8 people won $8,001 to $10,000. So we look at all this told to us right here. We have a total of 90 contestants. Total of 90 contestants. Great. If a total of 200 contestants play on the game show this year, how many in total do we predict will earn over $8,000? That's going to be this range here. That's going to be over $8,000. Base your answers on the results shown above. So find the probability of greater than $8,000. That's going to be, we had 8 of them, over 90 total, is going to be x over 200, where x is the amount of people that make over $8,000. So we cross multiply. 8 times 2,000 is 1,600 equals 90x. Oops, sorry, 90x. Divide both sides by 90. We get 17.7. Repeating equals x. So we're just going to simplify that. We predict that 17 people are going to win over $8,000. 17 people are going to win over $8,000. Awesome. And on to our final question for the day. Mr. Balling, don't know who that is, conducts a probability experiment where he randomly picks a marble out of a bag without looking, records the color, and then puts the marble back. That's going to be key there. The table below shows the results after 10 trials. Mr. Balling conducted the experiment 200 more times. How many times do you predict to pull out the stripped marble? So we have our results here. That's going to be 10. We had 10 total there. So our probability of stripped, I don't know what stripped is. I think they meant striped, but maybe it has a certain texture to it. Stripped is going to be, we had 4 times pulling out that kind of marble over 10. It's going to be x over 200. Now I know that some people are going to read this and think it's going to be 210 because it was 200 more times. How many times do you expect to pull out the stripped marble? I'm going to keep it at 200 because it's within the 200 more times. How many times are you going to pull out that type of marble? So we're going to let that as 200 and not 210 for anyone who may be confused about that. So let's cross multiply. 4 times 200 is 800 equals 10x. Divide both sides by 10. And we're going to get 80 equals x. So if he pulls that 200 more times, he'll pull it out 80 times out of those 200. Alrighty, hope you all did well on this. Thank you very much for coming today. Your homework tonight consists of 2 parts. It's already in the Google Classroom. Practice problems from today's lesson, a video about the material we are learning tomorrow, and a few questions about the video. If you watch the video, you'll be able to answer the questions, no problem. Make sure you fill out the worksheet and turn it in. Thank you very much for coming, everybody, and I will see everyone tomorrow.